Welcome to Shy's 13 Plus Random Facts, where we pick anyone, anywhere, or anything and find 13 random facts about it. Today, we are going to learn 13 plus random facts about Napoleon. We toss in some trivia just for fun, then we share it all with you because we feel curious minds want to know. Sit back, relax, and hopefully you'll learn something new today. He was born August 15th, 1769 in Corsica. He died May 5th, 1821 on the Atlantic island of St. Helena. He was the emperor of the French from 1804 to 1814 and again in 1815. Napoleon was the second of 8 surviving children. The family he was born into were minor Corsican nobility. He was poor compared to his classmates who came from wealthy, well-connected families. Napoleon wasn't French, his family was Italian. At age 9, he attended school in France where he learned to speak French fluently, but never lost his Corsican accent, and was reportedly mocked by his classmates for allegedly sounding like a peasant. At age 15, Napoleon was admitted to a military school in Paris, but was forced to complete the 2-year course in one because his father died of stomach cancer, leaving him as the family's chief source of income. He became a commissioned officer just after his 16th birthday. Napoleon became famous as a dictator who sought to conquer Europe, including Russia. But as it turns out, Russia could maybe have avoided the war because in 1789, Napoleon applied to the Russian military and navy but was rejected by both. The famous composer Beethoven was going to dedicate his 3rd symphony to Napoleon, but changed his mind after Napoleon crowned himself emperor. He would often dress in poor and shabby clothing and walk the streets of Paris, asking people questions as a way to find out how popular he was. He was twice married. His second wife bore him a son, Napoleon II. He acknowledged one illegitimate son, Charles Leon, born 1806, but may have had other illegitimate children. Napoleon became one of the very first victims of British tabloid when the letter he wrote to his brother about the affair of his wife Josephine somehow found its way into the hands of some British tabloids. He felt deeply embarrassed all over Europe. The United States has Louisiana because of Napoleon. He needed money urgently and believed that protecting it from the British would be unwise, so he therefore sold Louisiana for less than 3 cents per acre or $7.40 per square kilometer. What a deal. There has been a debate behind the cause of his death, and many stories were fabricated with respect to the circumstances of his death. Some speculate it to be a murder by poisoning, considering the high levels of arsenic found in his liver. But later research found that the high levels of arsenic in his system was the result of lifelong exposure to household products containing arsenic, such as dyes and glues. While others attribute it to stomach cancer, which was a hereditary condition in his family. As mentioned earlier, his father died of stomach cancer. So that was a quick rundown of his life to get us started. Now it's time to begin our 13 plus random facts. So let's start this party with a question. Good luck. Question number 1. Napoleon allegedly wore a packet of poison on a cord around his neck for many years. What year did he finally choose to try and swallow the poison at a failed attempt to take his own life? Was it A, 1810, B, 1814, C, 1802, or D, 1806? A, B, C, or D? And while you're contemplating that question, let's move on to the facts. Fact number 1. After Napoleon's death, his doctor famously severed his penis and gave it to a priest in Corsica, whereupon it was stored, but not preserved. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over time, the body part has deteriorated and has been compared to a piece of leather, a shriveled eel, and to beef jerky. And when it was displayed at a museum in New York, it was called Maltreated Strip of Buckskin Shoelace by Time magazine. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe buttons along with the notification bell, which all happen to be down below this video. This way you can be kept informed every time I upload a new video, and I do try to upload often. Fact number 2. Napoleon used to nap just before major battles. It is said that before his triumph at the Battle of Austerlitz, he slept deeply and barely woke up. Also during the Wagram battle, at the very decisive moment, he took a brief nap of 20 minutes and continued to give orders after waking up as if nothing had happened. I don't know about you people, but if I was being led by somebody who was taking a nap, I'd be a little nervous. Is it just me? So answer to question number 1 is B. Napoleon allegedly wore a packet of poison on a cord around his neck. When he finally went to use it in 1814, it had lost its potency and only succeeded in making him violently ill. We do hope you're enjoying our videos of 13 plus random facts. If you have any ideas on ways to improve or get better, please feel free to let us know in the comment section below. We really would love to hear your input. Fact number 3. Early in his military career, Napoleon was nicknamed the Little Corporal for his allegedly short stature. However, he was about 5'6", an average height during those times. The reason for the confusion could have been because the height recorded on his death was 5'2" in French units, which translates to about 5'6" today. Makes sense to me. He also liked to surround himself with extremely tall soldiers from the elite guard, which could have contributed to a short appearance. Feel free to share this video with your friends. Let's spread the word and get more people here. With your help, let's watch this channel grow together. I get excited just thinking about it. Fact number 4. Napoleon jailed 13 Catholic cardinals for not attending his second marriage, and his officers kidnapped Pope Pius VII, and I'm sure I butchered that. But anyway, yeah, kidnapped him and held him captive for 5 years. Seriously, 5 years. Could you imagine if something like that would happen today? Kidnapping the Pope, I truly don't believe would go unnoticed or even unpunished. I don't know, is it me? Am I wrong? Who knows? Who's an expert on this subject? Could the Pope get kidnapped without being punished today? Question number 2. What year were most of Jacques-Louis David's paintings of Napoleon with his hand in his waistcoat painted? Was it A, 1808, B, 1804, C, 1812, or D, 1802? What year do you think it was? A, B, C, or D? If you're an expert on the subject, you already know. Fact number 5. It is still illegal to this day for anyone to name a pig Napoleon in France. For this reason, if you read the book Animal Farm in French, the pig will be named Caesar instead of Napoleon. Personally, I have never read the book, but I'm going to assume just by that statement that in other parts of the world the pig's name is Napoleon. Who's read the book? Let me know. Fact number 6. Being the ruler of Europe comes with certain perks, including some fancy decorations for your home. While Napoleon was in power, the Mona Lisa was hung in his bedroom. At first I thought that was kind of cool because I figured, I doubted anyone would have tried to steal it. But then again, some people are just crazy. I mean, Napoleon himself kidnapped the Pope. But now that I'm thinking more about it, I'm not sure if it's cool or not. I mean, we all know that Mona Lisa's eyes move. Answer to number 2 was C. There's no secret behind the hand and waistcoat pose associated with Napoleon. It was a common pose used by the period's painters, including Jacques-Louis David, who created most famous paintings of the emperor in 1812. Fact number 7. Napoleon changed the world's standard of driving. I bet you didn't know this. Before Napoleon, the horse riders would hold their left hand on a road everywhere in the continental Europe, so that the right hand carrying the sword can be used to attack if need be. Napoleon thought it to be an old tactic and changed sides to surprise his enemies, and this spread over all the conquered lands except Great Britain, as it was never conquered by him. This means most countries in the world today are still following Napoleon in at least one way. And now you know why Europe, or I guess Great Britain, drive their cars on the left side of the road. Seriously, I really had no idea about that. That is actually interesting to know. Fact number 8. Okay, so we heard earlier in the video what happened to Napoleon's penis. So in 1977, Napoleon's penis was bought at an auction by a urologist from New Jersey. Yes, you heard that right, it was auctioned off. He stored the item, for which he had paid $3,000 for, under his bed until his death 30 years later. His daughter inherited the body part and has been offered $100,000 for it, though as of 2015 she was still in possession of her unusual souvenir. I don't know, personally I think I would have sold it. If you happen to know a few facts about Napoleon that are not on this list, please feel free to share them with us in the comment section below. We truly would love to hear them. We are a curious group of people here. Question number 3, and it's true or false. Napoleon's favorite meal was boiled potatoes and fried fish with cauliflower. What do you think? True or false? While you're thinking about that, we're moving on back to number 9. Napoleon apparently was terrified of open doors. Anybody entering the room had to squeeze through a barely adequate opening and then close the door immediately behind them. If you happen to have a curious mind about something and would like us to find 13 plus random facts about it, then mention it down in the comment section and we will do our best to make it happen. Because that's what I enjoy doing. I love researching things. Always have, probably always will. Fact number 10. We all know that Napoleon is considered to have been a military genius. But did you know that canned food was also one of his military tactics? Food had to be transported halfway across the European continent when Napoleon's army was engaged in battle. So to counter the issue, French troops started using canned food and became the first to use it on a consistent basis. And now you know. We hope you enjoyed your time with us today and will return soon to watch another 13 plus random facts video. We do upload often, so be sure to hurry back and don't forget to tell your friends about us. Answer to number 3 is false. All of his meals were eaten quickly and in silence, and his favorite meal was roast chicken and fried potatoes with onions. Fact number 11, he created the original Alcatraz. Bet you didn't know that. Between 1801 and 1857, Napoleon built a fort on the Atlantic Ocean named Fort Boyard. The 68 by 31 meter fortification rises straight out of the Atlantic Ocean, standing 20 meters tall. Its original purpose was for defense, though it later housed a prison. Building Boyard was a feat of engineering. The idea was proposed in 1692, but Louis XIV was told, "Your Majesty, it would be easier to seize the moon with your teeth than to attempt such an undertaking in such a place." More recently, the fort was the shooting location for the French game show Fort Boyard in 1990, in which contestants performed feats of strength and endurance in order to win cash prizes. Why doesn't that surprise me? They turn everything into a game show these days. I'm surprised they haven't done that with Alcatraz. So let me know in the comments below if any of these facts surprised you. Speaking of surprises, better yet, let me know how you did with the questions. Were they easy enough for you? Or maybe I need to make them a little harder for y'all. Fact number 12. By the end of the Napoleonic Wars, the Rothschilds, we all know that name, the Rothschild family had established such an efficient system of couriers in Europe that they knew Napoleon had lost at Waterloo a day before the government did. Nathan Rothschild did the noble thing and immediately reported it to the government. But after the news was made public, he bought up the government bond market. That's what you call using your head. He then sold the bonds for an enormous 40% profit 2 years later and established his family's lasting fortune. And now you know how they got as wealthy as they are today. Or at least that's how they got started. Thank you for joining me, and I do hope you learned something today. We do try to make it both educational and fun for everyone. If it wasn't fun, you wouldn't come back, and you wouldn't tell your friends about us. Question number 4. It was known that Napoleon had ailurophobia. I probably butchered that. It means he was afraid of cats. Or was he? Could it have been possible that the so-called historians, or whoever said he was afraid of cats, were wrong? Yes or no? What do you think? Fact number 13. Night riding was actually another one of Napoleon's military tactics, so that soldiers on the battlefield could easily read documents in the dark and communicate without making a sound. He requested a code system, but it was too complex for the soldiers to learn. The system proved its worth when a 12-year-old blind boy, Louis Braille, learned night riding and was inspired by it, and he developed the Braille system for the visually impaired. So once again, something else we can credit Napoleon for. All that's left is one last answer to our last question. But if you enjoyed this video and would like to watch some more facts, be sure to click on one of the links at the end of this video. It will hook you up with another 13 plus random facts video for your viewing pleasure. And if you haven't, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So answer number 4 is yes, they could have been wrong. It was known that Napoleon had ailurophobia, meaning he was afraid of cats. But Catherine MacDonough, author of Raining Cats and Dogs, A History of Pets at Court Since the Renaissance, says that no records exist of Napoleon either liking or hating cats. However, Napoleon III, the emperor's nephew, could not bear to be around felines and would jump on a chair if one entered the room. Napoleon I was by far the better known Napoleon. And it's possible this is where the confusion lies. And there you have it. Now you know. That's all there is. There ain't no more. My name is Shai. Thank you for joining me today. I do hope you have yourself a great day, and good night.